Hi guys, happy new year. So yeah, I don't want to bore you guys with like so many like, oh my god, this year I'm going, because I feel like every year that I do that, it never happens. So we're just gonna go with the flow this year. I have things that I have in the back of my mind, but we're gonna not even say that. We're gonna, like, I've spoken into existence on my own, but saying it to you guys, I don't even want to disappoint you guys this year. So yeah, let's move right on into what the video is about. So today I did a makeup basic 101 eyeshadow tutorial. I get a lot of DMs on my Snapchat, on my Instagram, about how, like, what shadow should I buy or basic makeup I should get for people who are just starting out. And I think a lot of YouTubers tend to forget, like, yo, we started somewhere, and we just kind of go with what it is that we feel like doing sometimes. Or like eyeshadow, even if you guys say I want neutral, we go to like the beyond neutral, you know, like that dramatic neutral, instead of just saying, hey, these people might not want to do a cut crease, or these people might not want to have those extra steps or that extra time. They just want to look pretty for that moment, something quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I feel like this eyeshadow look takes all of like 15 minutes. So yeah, probably not even that once you get it down pat, you know. So I mentioned an eyeshadow palette in there that I feel like you guys may have. I used the Morphe 350 palette just because I feel like that was a popular palette that a lot of people had. I will leave a few other palettes that I feel like are good for beginners listed down below as well, just in case you guys want to try those out as well. Like I stated in the video, I didn't start off with neutrals. I had to teach myself how to do neutrals. I started off with the most dramatic. I went all the way to bold, bright colored eyeshadow. So yeah, I'm going to kind of bring that back just a little bit and teach you guys what it is and how it is that I learned how to do neutral eyeshadows and things that I used to always do. Like, I feel like this used to be my go-to look whenever I wanted to do something. Like I said, you can also just, when you feel like, oh, it's the nighttime, I want to jazz it up a little bit, you can add just a little bit of black eyeshadow to the corner and blend that out, and it'll turn into like a beautiful neutral smoky eye as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. All of the products that I mentioned in this video will be listed down below. I love you guys. Happy New Year. What are your goals for this new year? Leave some of them listed down below. Don't forget to click the iCards right here. I have a video so that you guys can vote what is next when it comes to this Makeup Basics 101. Let me know if you guys want to see an eyeliner tutorial or a lash tutorial. You let me know. This click on the iCard right there and vote. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hi guys. Okay, so today, first I want to say Happy New Year. So I'm not gonna even tell you guys like anything that I have planned for this year, because I feel like when I say it, it never happens. So, but the first thing that I do want to do is just kind of start off with the basics. I get a lot of questions on Instagram, Snapchat about just how to do makeup, and it's not necessarily that they don't know how to, or that my videos aren't easy to follow along with. It's just kind of like I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do those basic looks. And I think that being someone who, I guess, I'm not in my beginning stages anymore, I tend to forget that not everybody that's on my channel is at the level that I'm at or above or anything like that. So I want to start off with everything, like literally from my eyeshadow to eyeliner to lashes to foundation. I just did a highlight and contour routine, but I'll do another one for you guys. So I just want to start off with everything so that we can move more advanced things, if that makes sense. So the palette that I'm going to be using today is one I had trouble trying to figure out what palette to use, but now correct me if I'm wrong. I will have other list of palettes down below that I feel like are good for beginners, but the one that I'm going to be using today is my Morphe 350. I literally had to blow the dust off of this because I haven't used it in a while, and as you can see, like, I've definitely used it. Like, this one is like broken. This one I've just hit pan because I use this a lot, but I haven't used this palette in a long time. But I feel like this is a great beginner friendly palette, and it's super inexpensive. It's like 20 something dollars. I know when I first started doing makeup, we were all using like those BH Cosmetic 100 200 pan palettes, or at least I was, and though, like, this kind of reminds me of that, but an upgraded version, if that makes sense. Like, the shadows are good. So I wanted to bring you this palette so that, because I feel like it has a very everyday, you know, neutral kind of thing. Now, when I started makeup, I did not start off with neutrals. I started off, if you've been following me, I started off using bold, bright colors. I think my very first like makeup tutorial on here was doing the Kelly Rowland Kisses Down Low video. So yeah, if you remember that video, you know her eyeshadow and stuff in that video was super bold, super bright. That's how I had to literally teach myself. Oh, I have makeup on my nail. I'm sorry. I had to literally teach myself how to do neutral makeup because I only knew bold, bright colors. And now I feel like I'm back into like oh, I haven't done a bold, bright look in so long. Like, I play it safe so much now. But yeah, and that may be just because of age and everything else. But yeah. So the 350 palette, like I said, I will list some like honorable mentions, but I feel like this is a palette that everyone has. This is a palette that everyone can get. Even, I don't even know, I hope Morphe still sells this. Even if they don't, Morphe sells a lot of palettes that are similar to this that are super neutral that you guys can check out. So yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on my eyes so that you guys can really see what I'm doing. But before that, I'm gonna talk about the brushes. So as far as brushes, I really only want to tell you guys about 3 so that you guys can not feel like you have to have like so many brushes when you first start off. So yeah, throughout this video, I'm going to say about 4. So I'm going to go ahead and just mention 4 just in case. So the first brush that I'm going to mention is one that is $1, and this is by e.l.f. This is like their eyeshadow brush. This is what it's called. This is literally one of my favorite. This is literally one of my favorite brushes. If you've been following me, you know that I like to pack my shadow on with this brush so much, and I literally just started buying some other ones. I think they changed them a little bit. I'm trying to find the old one that I had because I still use that brush to this day. It's like literally one of my favorite brushes. But an eyeshadow, flat eyeshadow brush. It's round at the top. It's super flat, and you can just pat the shadow that you need on your lid. So yeah, this is, I think, like $1. It's no more than $3 from e.l.f. The next brush that I'm going to talk about is from Morphe. It is the Morphe 441 brush, and this is how it looks. It is a fluffy brush on my mind. It's kind of stained. But yeah, this is a super nice brush to just kind of blow out. I like to use this pretty much for like my transition color. You can use it as a crease color, as a crease brush as well. But I like to use this one kind of like as that first one just because it's a little bit fluffier and it gets more of that area. Now when I want to go into something a little bit more compact, I go into the Morphe 443 brush just because it's a little smaller and it really gets into that crease area, and this is how it looks. Morphe has some really good inexpensive brushes. I know I'm like talking about a lot of Morphe products today. This is not sponsored, but I do like their brushes. I really do like, and it's so much easier to get opposed to spending like 20 something for the price of 2 Morphe brushes. For the price of 1 MAC brush, you get 2 Morphe brushes. So yeah, and Ulta sells Morphe, and Ulta always have coupons, so sounds like a deal to me. So another just like honorable mention is this Luxe 227 blending brush that looks like this. I'll sometimes go in with this one as well. So also one of my favorite blending brushes. I'm not going to use this now because I don't know if they necessarily sell them alone, and it is the Anastasia brushes. I love using those. They come in their palettes. That blending brush, I use that a lot, but I'm not going to use it in this one just because I'm not sure how it transforms into their like brush system or whatever. I only use like their the brush that I use to cut my crease from them. So yeah, I'm not going to mention that one or use that one. But today I'm going to try to keep it really simple, like Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Not calling you guys stupid, but you know. I'm going to try to keep it super simple just for the simple fact that I don't want you guys to have to break the bank. So we're already like 6 minutes in, so let me just zoom in and get started with the shadows and everything else. Okay, so when you're doing your transition color, I like for my transition color to be lighter than my skin tone. It kind of serves as like a brow bone highlight, and of course you want your brow bone highlight to be lighter than your skin tone as well. I try to go at least 2 shades lighter than what my skin tone is so that I can so that I can really get that transition shade on there. I don't want you, of course you don't want to go super light, just for the simple fact that it will come up ashy. So I've already primed my lid using a MAC concealer. This is their Studio Concealer in NW40. And I like to prime my lid first. So I'm going to go in with this like brown shade. I like to use warm tones on me. Now, of course, if you're doing a cool tone, you would use a cool tone eyeshadow. But I just like using warm tone. This is going to be like a warm, kind of neutral look or whatever. So I'm going to go in with this one right here, which is why I've hit pan, because I feel like this is my perfect, like one of my perfect like transition shades. It's lighter than my skin tone, but it definitely helps. So all I'm going to do is just pretty much sweep that up. Of course, like it might hit my crease area, but that's okay. But this is going to help blend out those other colors. You should still be able to see it. I like to use a base that is lighter than my skin tone, just so that the colors can show up really well. I know that one problem that people might face, especially if you are darker skin, is that the shadows might not come up as pigmented as you want them to be. So to help with that, if I'm doing like neutrals and stuff like this, then I'll just use a lighter tone neutral base. But if I'm doing color, then of course I'll go in with a white base and do it like that. Please don't mind me, like I do need my eyebrows done, so yeah, that's that. So I'm just gonna pretty much be sweeping this all above, like kind of trying to get into that brow bone. I'm not really into like placing like shadow directly on my brow bone. You can, but of course if you did that, you want the shadow to be even lighter than that. So if you wanted to do a brow bone and you're around my complexion, I would go in with like this eggshell color right here and place that underneath my brow bone. I just never really do it, just because when I'm doing it, I usually use a lighter base anyway, and I set my base with powder. So what you want to do is make sure that you're not really taking, this shade is light enough where even if I did take it kind of high, you really wouldn't tell. But you want to make sure that you have some type of space between your brow and your shadow. So if you want to know where to stop your shadow, stop at the end of your eyebrow and then start at the beginning of your eyebrow. So with eyeshadow, you just really pretty much saying, I want to go from the lightest to the darkest, if that makes sense. So the next shadow that I'm going to go in and use is, now this is when I'm going to go in with just a more precise brush. This one is smaller, if you can see, like this one is smaller than this one. Like this one is much fluffier, and then this one is a little bit more tapered. This one is wider. So I'm going to go in with this one and as my crease brush. And I'm going to use this shadow right here. It's darker than this one, but it's not the darkest, if that makes sense. So for your crease color, you don't want to go in unless that is, especially for a beginner, you don't want to go in with super dark shadow. Now, sometimes I don't do this, but I'm at a point where I can blend out my shadow where it won't look a mess, you know. So, but as a beginner, I would have never gone in with like a dark shadow first and then went. Make sense? So yeah, I'm gonna go in, and this is gonna go in my crease. So right there, I'm gonna pop that in, and I'm gonna begin to blend this out. So you really want to focus in on your crease, and then you can begin to just blend it out into the other shadow. Now that shadow, you're really not gonna like tell that it's there, but it just kind of helps blend out the crease color. Now to kind of make sure that everything is blended, I will go back into this brush and just kind of sweep over so there aren't any harsh lines. Next, I'm going to go in with an even darker shade, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner of my lid. So I'm going to take this chocolate brown down here. Can you see it? Okay. I'm going to take this chocolate brown down here, and I'm going to put this on the outer corner of my eye. You want to make sure that the darker shade is on the outer corner, and then you can kind of blend it in. So for this one, I'm taking an even smaller brush. It's smaller than this one, if you can see. I'm taking an even smaller brush and I'm putting that on my outer corner to blend this out. And you just want to build it up to the intensity that you want. If you are doing something like during the day or something, you can keep it super, super light. And then if it's like, oh man, I'm going out tonight, you can go in with just a little bit of black and just kind of transition it to be a little bit smokier than what it already is. You don't have to say, oh, let me redo my entire face. You can really smoke this out if you wanted to, just by adding like some black liner and then a little bit of black, to it. But if you're not comfortable and you are a beginner, it's kind of hard. Like I know a lot of people kind of try to stray away from black because black can be a little bit difficult to work with. So for my lid, I'm gonna go in with two colors. The first color that I'm gonna go in with is this like peachy shade right here. Is lighter. You want to have a highlighted color on your lid, something light, so that it kind of ties everything together. But I'm also going to take a shimmery shade and place on top of it as well. So now I'm just going to go back in with my brush and just blend everything together. And place a little bit more of that shadow right on my lid. So you can honestly leave it matte if you want. I'm going to go in and, so to kind of break up that brown, I'm just going to take a little bit of that transition color and blend that in there. Okay, so this is the completed look. I'm going to go ahead and pop on some mascara, some light lashes, super light for me. And I'll be back once I am done with the rest of my face and everything else.